Let's don't let a good thing die.
Do you think that the entry wound looked like an exit wound?
There wasn't an exit wound because I remember rolling his head over and cleaning it so I could see if there was an exit. There was a guy that said that the mic blew up. Where was the flash?
The way I looked at it was he was wearing a loose-fitting t-shirt that had a Rode mic with the magnet. If it was a projectile, it would have had to have been pointed at the exact same spot, which would have been impossible to do with a loose shirt. Unless the explosion is what killed him, but what you're saying, no flash, no char, no burn marks.
You've seen explosions. You have those attributions. Where's the attribution to the explosion inside those frames? That doesn't exist.
Yo, who's making these people of wax? Got that man Tupac looking like he's on Ozempic. What's crack-a-lackin', my good people, and welcome back. Right now we're gonna do the usual and kick back and watch TikToks that just might make you say, oh man, what in the world? No way, you've got to be kidding me.
Oh yeah, look what we just caught, bro.
Oh, yeah, man.
A real crow, man. Say caca, caca. Yes, that's real, bro.
A new study has found that raccoons are showing early signs of domestication. Dogs, you may have competition. Now, the study conducted at the University of Arkansas suggests that raccoons living in urban areas in North America are physically changing in response to life around humans. Now, the researchers suggested that domestication starts when wild animals start hanging around humans and adapt on their own, rather than us domesticating them. Dogs hung around ancient garbage piles and cats showed up for the mice that followed. But in this process over hundreds of years, physical changes were also observed. Shorter snouts, smaller heads, floppy ears, and white patches of fur. This pattern, which is noted all the way back in the 1800s, is called the domestication syndrome. And raccoons in the Big 25 and before GTA 6 might have that syndrome. Of the 20,000 raccoons observed across the US, researchers discovered that the ones living in the city have shorter snouts than the ones living in rural areas. Bro, what even is this year?
Oh, hell no. Look, I'm all for having a dog or a cat as a pet, you know, like a little goldfish maybe. But a raccoon though, yeah, that's too far for me, playa.
There's a part of our brain called the locus ceruleus, and that's the part that's active if you're buying a white Toyota Tundra and you look at them on the internet for a month, and then you finally buy a white Toyota Tundra. You're going to see them everywhere because your brain, since you've been looking at it, says, oh, the human thinks that this is important, so I'm going to search for it everywhere I go.
Is there a way to shut that off?
I would say definitively no. If I have told the mammalian part of my brain over and over again that this one thing is important, then the brain will just look for it everywhere. It's not like everyone went out and bought a Tundra at the same time as you. Maybe somebody comes home and they're like, hey, I saw 17 other Tundras on the road just on my way home from work. It's insane. But you'll never be able to tell somebody how many Toyota Corollas you saw. A lot of times our experience of the world is not really reality. Our experience is what our reticular formation thinks is important and what it's searching for, and it will just kind of delete everything else.
Very interesting.
Flashy ways, guess that's why they wrote in your soul. Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me.
Va para adentro.
Mírala.
Dale, pitale, pitale, pitale. Pitale, pitale, pitale.
¿Ya miraste?
Le dieron algo en la droga.
Yeah, stay away from them drugs, people. Good God.
How did meteorologists know 7 days in advance that Hurricane Harvey was going to go where it went and sit there for 3 days? How could they possibly know that? These people are reading scripts, Tucker. They're literally reading scripts passed down to them by Raytheon, private defense contractors Raytheon and Lockheed Martin that are neck deep in climate engineering, everything, patents, operations, everything. And they literally supply and provide the quote forecast, which is the scheduled weather, to the National Weather Service and NOAA, our nation's weathermen. That passes all the way down. And local meteorologists simply, they know how long their leash is. They're protecting their paychecks and pensions. They toe the line as well, just like the safe and effective in the medical community. Everybody just toes the line because they don't want to disrupt their personal paradigm. These storms are being steered and manipulated, period. That's beyond dispute.
Y'all, watch this. What? What? What?
The video you just saw shows fans who seem to end up possessed in the middle of a concert. And according to the spectators who filmed it, no one even noticed. All of this happened a few months ago. From the start, no one understood why an inverted cross had been placed at the center of the stage. The rapper was even using voices that sounded strangely demonic. We have proof that several women left the concert because they felt something was wrong.
I don't know if y'all hear that? That mess behind me that I'm leaving? Something is not right with that. Jesus, in Jesus' name. I'm walking up and down through this whole live concert, crying, clutching my pearls because that sounds like some mess.
There are more and more strange things happening in America right now. The music industry in the United States is turning the wrong way right before our eyes. The most shocking moment was at The Weeknd's concert. A forbidden word flashed discreetly on a giant screen as if it wanted to take something from the crowd. Watching some videos from that day, fans looked possessed. There was even another concert by an artist whose name I cannot mention here, but watching it makes clear the fans were no longer acting normally. Were they possessed because of the music, or was something else hidden during that concert? Many spectators claim that frightening unknown voices were coming from the artist's mouth. It is not normal to see this kind of thing during a show.
If their music is making you do all that, like, man, switch genres or something, damn.
I come bearing bizarre science for you today. Today we're going to discuss the neuroscience behind how every moment you consciously experience is already in the past. Yep. Now your perception of the world is based on a system of data collection, data processing, and then a subsequent response to that data. Your peripheral nervous system is comprised of between 40 and 50 miles of peripheral nerves, and they act as a relay to and from the brain. They're essentially a courier of information between your brain and the outside world. But the conscious perception of that world, it takes time. Sensory input from the outside world, that includes sight, sense, sound, touch, taste, that sometimes needs to travel quite a distance to make its way to the brain for processing. So you're talking about a time lapse of several dozen milliseconds, and sometimes even more once it hits the central processing unit, which means you're experiencing the world around you on a lag. But if we never truly perceive our lives in real time, then how do human beings, say, hit 100-mile-per-hour fastball? The working theory is that the brain engages in something known as predictive processing, whereby it generates a model of the world around you and then makes split-second predictive decisions based on previous inputs. Then any mismatches encountered by the brain, like if you were to swing and miss this ball, would go toward refining the model to reduce the error rate in the future. So if you're currently enjoying this video, make sure you revel in it, because everything you're hearing, it's already in the past.
This is a real photograph of Trump and Bill Clinton, and it kind of makes the recent Epstein email disclosures make a little more sense. So this is one of the emails released by the House Oversight Committee recently, detailing an email chain between Jeffrey Epstein and his brother Mark. As you can see at the bottom, Mark and his brother Jeffrey are talking about Donald Trump at the beginning of this email chain. At one point, Epstein states that he's with Bannon. I'm assuming that's Steve Bannon. And then Mark Epstein, Jeffrey's brother, emails him and says, ask him if Putin still has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. If you don't know, Bubba is a very common nickname for former US President Bill Clinton, who Trump claims publicly that he hates, but who he has had a very close personal friendship with in the past. And I don't know about you, but I don't typically just grab my friends on the crotch. This is definitely a strange photo. If you even check out the top of that email chain, there's another weird message. And Mark Epstein, Jeffrey's brother, emails him saying, you and your boy Donnie can make a remake of the movie Get Hard. Now, could this possibly be true? Could there potentially be photos of Donald Trump blowing Bubba, aka Bill Clinton? Obviously, I do not have the answers, but this is an official piece of information released by the US government, and this rabbit hole goes extremely deep.
Man, South Park writers gonna have a field day with this one.
Well, where is they going though?
I don't know, but this is hilarious.
You see this? Not the bus full of them though. Hey, he hitting it. I'm screaming right now.
Startling images that appear to show the operator of a packed commuter train in San Francisco falling asleep at the controls. Here's Melissa Adon.
Tonight, harrowing moments for these passengers on a San Francisco commuter train. Just after 8:30 a.m., security camera footage from September showing the operator appearing to doze off as the train accelerates down the tracks. That train exiting the Sunset Tunnel, nearing 50 miles per hour. Passengers unaware of what was happening, suddenly thrown side to side in the car. The driver apparently shaken awake, frantically trying to stop. But that train kept going, speeding past a stop with waiting commuters, barreling into that curve, nearly hitting an oncoming car before finally coming to a stop. That driver appearing to blame the incident on malfunctioning equipment.
I'm sorry, relax. We didn't crash.
But tonight, the city's transit officials confirming the cause was, quote, operator fatigue. David, one person said they suffered a concussion, and officials say that driver was pulled from operating trains. David?
Melissa Adon tonight. Melissa, thank you.
Yeah, man, I get it. We're all overworked and tired as shit. But when you're a train operator, I'm sorry, there's no excuses.
Yeah. What are you? That looks like a gigantic spider.
Erica Kirk doesn't even know her husband's favorite animal.
Funny, his favorite animal was the platypus.
Favorite animal?
I love dogs. I lost my dog in October and I'm still not over it. He was an amazing dog. I believe dogs are windows into God's, almost a window into God.
You can smell a scent and it'll take you to a place. Y'all ain't never did that before? Like you could be somewhere like walking like, damn, but you think about something else. But all that shit, man, we've been here before, bro. I'm telling you.
I don't doubt that.
It's practice to get used to the idea that, is this an ET ship?
Have you heard anything about 3i Atlas?
Yes, Bashar has said it's a comet. It is an unusual comet from outside the solar system. It does have extraterrestrial technology on it for observational purposes, scientific purposes, being studied, but it is not itself a ship. However, since it is the third interstellar object we have noticed, right, the first being Oumuamua, the second being Borisov, and this, the third one being Atlas, it's giving us practice to prepare us to get used to the idea that things are coming into our solar system from outside. So it's a pattern that we're getting used to because people have questioned, is this an ET ship? It's practice to get used to the idea that at some point it will be.
Because it's like how you would introduce a child to it. Here it comes. What is it? Is it maybe? Oh, right. It's not. Oh, okay. Oh, well, and then you look inside. Oh, maybe I did want that to happen.
Exactly.
Yes. You know, we're like,
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's also an opportunity for the ETs to have another way of observing our reaction to things, because a lot of people are going, oh, it's a comet. I wanted it to be an ET ship. That's huge.
Yeah.
That we would want it to have been. And the ETs take note of that. You want it to be a ship? Next time, maybe it will be.
Yeah.
26 churches and 23 of them turned her down. This is what happened to Nicolene. She called 26 churches for help. She pretended to be a desperate mother without baby formula, even playing the sound of a baby crying in the background, begging for help. Some churches gave excuses, some hung up, and others coldly responded, "We don't do that here." But she didn't give up. She made another call, but this time not to a church, to a Muslim mosque. The response was completely different. "Where are you? What kind of formula do you need? Come here, we'll help you." The churches who preach love thy neighbor failed to offer any help in a time of need, while the often misunderstood Muslim community showed what real faith looks like through action. After this experiment, some supported Nicole, believing she exposed the hypocrisy of the religious system. Others criticized her for stirring unnecessary controversy. But no matter where you stand, we all have to ask ourselves, if even those who claim to preach love can't practice it, then where can we find real love?
As a Christian, when it comes to these big churches, I'm not surprised. But I will say I'm very disappointed.
Six Flags America permanently closed as of 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on November 2nd, 2025. Whoever had access to the park's audio system last night understood the assignment at Six Flags America. They played Boys to Men, It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday.
I thought ChatGPT tried to tell me stuff that isn't true. I'm working on this one project where I'm looking to freeze water using a vacuum. Like out in space, water's frozen. You talk to ChatGPT and you tell it what happens when you put water in a vacuum, and it tells you it evaporates. It's like, well, then what's all the ice doing out in space? You're wrong. So I feed it the equation. I'm like, here's the equation for, vacuum pressure versus temperature. And it goes, oh, okay, I get what you're saying. And we have a couple of conversations. Then all of a sudden it forgets again. It goes back to where it was. And I'm like, I just gave you the equation. How are you not knowing this? It's almost like purposely trained to sort of misguide scientists.
This video shows popular streamer Jimena almost get trafficked.
Why is your things up?
Okay, so she's live, okay?
What the fuck? Wait.
You can literally see it in her face the moment she realizes something's wrong.
No. Wait, I'm gonna drive off. Bitch, drive. What the fuck? Bro. That's a wave?
Look,
That's
you see?
a wave for fucking
Pause
sex
it.
trafficking.
You see her windshield wipers are up? The thing that's crazy is that we literally made that video about signs. What they do is they lift your windshield wipers off of the windshield in order to get you to get out of the car and go and fix them. That's when you're vulnerable. Okay, now I want you to keep watching and pay attention.
That's a way for you to get out the car and fix that shit and someone stabbed me under the fucking car. Oh,
did you see that?
No.
Look.
No.
Did you see the shadow next to the car? Okay, look, you see it? You see the shadow move?
Oh, hell no.
That's crazy, huh?
No. That's weird.
I can't tell if that was a setup or not, but scary situation to be in. That's why it's very important to always be aware of your surroundings.
They can probably say that they're trying to repair it. But look, I'm gonna show you something. Look how those statues, whatever you want to call it, is built inside. Look how perfect it is. Yeah. They did not do that with the tools that they try and teach us that they did that with.
What do you think they did it with?
Lasers.
Lasers?
So they could do it right now.
Back then, they didn't have lasers.
Yes, they did.
Go on.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
I don't trust nothing that they've told us so far. Ever since I woke up and started questioning everything, I just want to know the truth. I don't really care about football games no more. I don't care about TV shows no more. Nothing that they put in front of us for us to get entertained with, to use as a distraction. I just want to know the truth about some things. Why are we here? Why were we created? Why do we get old and have diseases? If everything was put on the earth to heal us, why do we even need money? Why do we need money if everything God created is for us? We can't travel and explore like we used to. Why do they hide certain things from us? How the hell are they able to decide what we can handle and what we can't handle? How the hell can y'all handle? These are some of the things I spend my time asking.
Don't worry, my friend, you're not alone. It's called the Great Awakening. A lot of us are going through that same transition.
If you don't wake up, this will no longer be the United States of America. This will become the United States of Israel, which is their ultimate goal and plan. And they're on track, especially after knocking out this guy, his handler now taking over his spot. You know whose handler was? His wife is the handler. She was an Mossad agent as well. You guys got to realize what's really going on out here. The illusion is so great and so grand. What you see them projecting here is only a small sliver of the deception that they want you to take in and believe. But behind that sliver that you get is a more grand story of what they really have operating in the background.
Conspiracy theorists believe it's actually a bunker or underground city. Phil Snyder, a government engineer who was known to work on deep underground military bases, worked on the airport when it was being built. He claimed that DIA was 8 levels deep, not 6. He alleged it was connected to a nationwide underground base network, and he later became a whistleblower speaking about deep underground military bases, and he was found unalived in 1996, officially ruled a suicide, but the circumstances were highly suspicious.
Speaking of spiritual warfare and spiritual dimensions, 2 stories about people that have taken Salvia. Truly nightmare fuel. I was in this college, this guy smoked some Salvia, laid back, and all of a sudden he woke up, but he was a child, and he lived his entire life. He's a child, teenager, went through everything, got married, had kids, grew old, had to bury his wife, became a grandparent, and then died of old age, basically, and then woke up at his college where he smoked Salvia, and it broke his mind.
How could it not?
And he was weeping because he's like, that life wasn't real. I had kids that I loved. This next story, I would say, is even scarier.
Oh no.
Great. This guy, also college age, smoked Salvia, and he was like basically transported to where he's standing on the side of the road, and he was just standing there. Then all of a sudden he turned into a stone pillar, and he was a milestone, like a mile marker stone for 300 years.
What?
And he said he watched the forest change. He watched horse and buggy, and eventually turned into cars and a highway. And then after 300 years, a construction crew came and tore him down, and he woke up.
Bro, you go and try to get stoned, you become one. I mean, that's what's gonna happen. I mean, like, think about claustrophobia. Like, you have a full intellectual mind, yet you're stuck like that for 300 years. Straight up terrifying.
All the pyramids in Tikal would fit inside the one big pyramid in El Mirador.
Really?
Yeah. It's a monster, and it is literally bigger than the ones in Egypt, and it's in Guatemala. And so that tells you that the pre-classic civilization was bigger and grander and more sophisticated than the civilizations that came after it.
You know, when the Mayans were running things, like, who could have ever thought when they had such an incredibly sophisticated society, unbelievable construction, the stuff that they had built, that one day you just walk through there and there's nothing. Nothing and nobody.
Man, I highly doubt the Mayans even built it. They probably found it just like we did.
What do you think of Christopher Dunn's work? He thinks the Great Pyramid of Giza was some sort of a power plant.
Chris comes to this from a background of machine tool making. At Saqqara, you have this thing called the Serapeum, which is an underground labyrinth. And it's got wide corridors through it, and then off each side are rooms. And in each room are these gigantic basalt boxes, which appear to have held the corpses of bulls. They're like sarcophagi for human beings, but they're on an enormous, gigantic scale, weighing hundreds of tons and cut out of the hardest possible rock, precisely engineered. Everything is exact. And it's that, amongst other things, that is attracting Chris's attention to the possibility of lost technology in ancient Egypt. And then he asked himself the question, well, what was the Great Pyramid if it wasn't a tomb? And he's come to the solution that it was some kind of energy generators.
Wake up. This world is not what you think it is. I've been around for 71 years. In the last 53 years, I have spent my life in the world of the occult. The word occult is a Latin word meaning hidden. Everything that's of any importance has been hidden. The guys at the top know stuff you don't know. I made it my business to find out. And the one thing that has absolutely astounded me is how much we don't know about the world we live in. So I would say to young people watching, you better wake up and get a life and start figuring out who owns you. What is all this crap about people owning your body on the New York Stock Exchange?
So you recommend self-education for the
self-education.
I completely agree. I think the state education
is run by the mafia, and we have private schools, which are businesses. So
I heard the government is spying on us with our Wi-Fi routers. Is that true?
Technically, you can. This is basically a simple ESP32 board. Has like a Wi-Fi chip on board. How it works is it uses something known as CSI, channel state information. It's just trying to figure out how the Wi-Fi waves around the device behave when people are closer. But you can calculate two things. You can calculate the amplitude and you can calculate the phase.
Theoretically, if you stand in front of the router, it disrupts the signal. You can then track when somebody is in a room.
Pretty much.
For example, I could put a Wi-Fi router in the bathroom and it could tell me if somebody's in there.
You can also figure out if they're sitting on the toilet.
So do you think everyone should return their routers?
Yeah, the government's spying on you.
Not just your Wi-Fi router, it's your TV, phone, tablet, laptop, you name it.
This is the first time we're going to send humans to the moon, and we're going to have humans in low Earth orbit. That is awesome. Like, we should, as humanity, we should take a brief moment to go, that's awesome.
You have to pay attention who's coming near your house. These two women get close to this house and you could tell they're looking for a specific home. And look what she does next. She pours this white powder right in front of the house. What do you think they're doing there?
Did you know that Avicii had a single ready to drop just before he died that never got released, called Dun Diddy? Swedish DJ Avicii passed away in 2018. It was reported that he had allegedly taken his own life with a broken wine bottle, but Avicii's passing has never sat right with the whole world, still to this day, and this is where things start to get suspicious. Before he passed, Avicii had started to expose Hollywood. He had also tried to expose P. Diddy for sex trafficking, which kinda makes you wonder what was in that unreleased song. Avicii had started to drop a lot of symbolism, even right up until that very last song. In the music video for Better Days, you see a van being driven out with people in the back. Billionaires pull up to choose who they want. You then see kids running away, running through the desert. This video was a scream for sex trafficking. 6 months later, Avicii had died. This is where it gets even more suspicious. Avicii was allegedly working on a documentary called The Silent Children. The documentary was set to expose Hollywood and all of the sex trafficking. He then died. He wasn't working alone. Also allegedly working on this documentary was Chester Bennington from Linkin Park. He was then also found dead. Self-inflicted death. American singer Chris Cornell was also allegedly working on this documentary. He was also found dead. Self-inflicted death. Anthony Bourdain, also working with them. Guess what? Also found dead. Self-inflicted death. Now, while some people call this nothing more than a conspiracy, every single person who was allegedly working on that documentary is now no longer here to tell the tale.
I wouldn't be surprised to find out Diddy's behind a bunch of celebrities' deaths. I mean, the man's obviously guilty of a lot more than just prostitution.